the victims' IDs are not being noted. It is.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
I can, yep. Okay.
That's a good thing.
I've ever seen.
Dude, where did I put my wallet? Just on mine. Just from my angle.
I don't see
Right
it.
below the K.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get it out. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
Good evening, happy Friday. Thank you for joining us. I'm Greg Glover.
And I'm Cindy Sexton. We begin with developing news. Chattanooga police are investigating a shooting in East Chattanooga this evening.
Officials tell us 2 victims were found on East 12th Street. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Kate Smith is live on the scene to bring us the latest. Kate.
Greg, it's still a very active scene here at the intersection of East 12th Street and Willow Street. Police say that 2 people have died this evening. They responded to a shots fired call at 8:15 this evening, and when they arrived on scene, they found 2 people dead in a vehicle that appeared to have just crashed moments after the shooting. They say it's still way too early to tell if the victims died from gunshot wounds or injuries they sustained from the car crash. The violent crimes investigators are following leads, and they say they have a couple leads that they are looking into. The victims' IDs are not being released at this time. So we don't know if they are males or females or who these victims are. No telling how long the police will be here on scene doing their investigation, but as soon as we learn more information, we'll make sure we update you at WRCBTV.com. But if you are going through the area, know that East 12th Street and Willow Street are currently blocked off as they continue to investigate. For now, I'm live in Chattanooga. Kate Smith, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Kate, thank you. And East Ridge neighborhoods being cleaned up. It's a big mess that was there after a drunk driver tore through their community.
Well, this happened last night on Spriggs Street. Police say the driver mistook someone's backyard for a road and plowed through several backyards. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pham spoke with a family who caught it all on tape. It's a story you'll see only on 3.
Surveillance video shows a car blowing into the backyard of this East Ridge home. A family of 4 was getting ready for bed when they felt a rumble outside.
It sounds like the house is caving in, so you pop your head, shower's on, you look out the window going, are you for real? There is a car in the back. Oh my God, how did he get in the back? And you look, oh, are you, oh, what do you even do? And he's still driving around.
Arrest documents say the drunk driver behind the wheel was 27-year-old John Gray. In a statement to police, Gray said he left a local bar and was driving his mother's car. Investigators say Gray caused significant damage to a carport, fences, and the back of Jessica Kirchhoff's home.
It's gated, it's fenced for a reason, which means it's ours. You shouldn't turn around and hear the house coming down and then some belligerent snot out here like whatever.
One of the homeowners says Gray was attempting to leave the scene of the accident, but they were able to keep him there until authorities arrived. Did he seem remorseful at all?
No, he was scrolling on Facebook.
Gray was arrested and taken to the Hamilton County Jail for driving under the influence. While Kirchhoff is frustrated, she's just thankful none of her family got hurt.
So when you took all this down, you could have just shattered the snot on, took out both my kids. And didn't even care because you caught yourself a good time down at the bar.
That was Tim Pham reporting. The residents say they were in the process of buying that home. In the meantime, they'll work with their landlord to make repairs.
Georgia's state school superintendent wrapped up a 2-day visit to several northwest Georgia counties today. Richard Woods is beginning his 3rd year in office. He spent most of the day in Dade County, visiting the county's 4 schools. At Davis Elementary, Woods visited several classrooms and met with teachers and students as they showcased the county's technology and curriculum. He says he is optimistic about the future.
Bright days are ahead, so I'm excited about where we're going, and really what you may hear across maybe the nation, I would say just take a few minutes, come and visit your school, and you're going to be impressed with what you see.
State's Superintendent Woods also visited schools in Gilmer, Murray, and Catoosa counties yesterday and today.
Hamilton County School Board is still uncertain how bus transportation will be provided. The contract with Durham School Services expires in June, and questions linger in the wake of the Woodmore crash. School board members agreed to extend independent drivers' contracts by 4 years. The district now has 49 owner-operators. Most of those drivers are asking for insurance benefits, a pay raise, and more bus routes. They say it's an investment that will benefit families in the community.
The parents that trust in who you are, they know who you are. And that's the big difference, I guess, like companies, because there's such a high turnover in hiring and retaining bus drivers.
The school board will meet tomorrow at 12:30 at Central High School to discuss more details regarding their bus contract and routes for independent drivers. Well, despite the unusually warm January weather, it is not warm enough for some people.
In fact, one Chattanooga resident cranked up his space heater yesterday. That eventually caused a fire. It's a harsh reminder about the dangers the appliances pose when they're not used safely. Channel 3 Storm Alert meteorologist Nick Austin has this story.
Portable space heaters, heating appliances, all of those together usually account for the second leading cause of all fires in homes.
Chattanooga firefighters responded to a call Thursday afternoon from this home on Laura Street. Once they had the fire under control, they immediately knew how it started.
It was obvious that the heater was right up against the wall, and it was on. And with each succeeding hour, it got hotter and hotter and eventually just burst into flames.
The fire started in the bedroom. Spokesperson Bruce Garner says the curtains likely caught on fire next, then the flames spread up to the attic.
But the firefighters attacked it very quickly with handheld hose lines and contained the fire pretty quickly to just the bedroom and the attic.
Garner says the man who lives here was at home when the fire started, but he wasn't hurt. Most of the damage was inside the home. He was fortunate. Space heater fires can spread very quickly, like the example in this video.
Sometimes they don't only cause damage, they cause injuries and fatalities.
Garner says to remember one simple rule.
Please use the 3-foot rule, and that is keep anything that will burn at least 3 feet away from those heaters.
Also choose a heater that's appropriate for home use.
You wouldn't want to pull in the big kerosene type blow heaters that are meant for a warehouse.
With a lot more winter ahead of us, Garner doesn't want you and your family to become statistics.
We still have some more cold weather to go, I'm pretty sure. I think you could attest to that. You know all about it. And I think we need to be careful about that.
For more information on how to prevent space heater fires in your home, visit our website, WRCBTV.com. Time for first weather and a check of the weekend. Paul Bear is standing by. How about it, Paul?
Well, we got some rain that's going to be moving our way. We're going to see some showers for a little bit of Saturday, but a better chance for showers and storms by tomorrow night, and more rain, maybe even a thunderstorm coming up on Sunday. It looks like pretty much a rainy weekend. This is the Viper showing all this rain down in Louisiana. This is starting to explode down there. A number of tornado warnings have already occurred right along the Gulf Coast in Louisiana. This is all moving off to the north and east. It's going to be a while. Overnight will be dry, but tomorrow we'll see some showers move in, especially over Georgia. And we'll keep our eye on that for severe weather, but I don't think we're going to have any for tomorrow. Tomorrow night and into Sunday, we could have some gusty winds out of some of those thunderstorms, though. 54 right now in the city and in Cleveland, Athens 51, Dalton 58, winds are calm, 52 in Fort Payne already, 48 near the Murphy Andrews Airport. 71.54 for the high and the low today, and that tied the record set back in 1929. And we had almost 9/10 of an inch of rain and almost 1.9 inches of rain over the past couple of days at the airport, which is great. But over 3 inches of rain fell in Scottsboro, almost 3 in Fort Payne. Now, Dalton only had 4/10, Lafayette about 1.5 inches, Trenton about 1.1. And then we had 1.1 into Cleveland, almost 1.5 inches from Saudi Daisy to Lakeside. And in Red Bank, Signal Mountain 1.3, Dunlap 1.4, but over 2 in Lookout Mountain with 1 inch in Ringgold and 1.7 in East Ridge. Then we had about 1.7 in Coalmount, Cagle Mountain 1.2, almost 1 inch up to Spring City, 1 inch in Dayton, and about 8/10 in Turtletown, 1/2 inch in Murphy, and almost 2 inches near Jasper. Here's the latest Vipercast showing cloudy skies at 7 o'clock in the morning. No rain at 7. Then we're going to see a swath of rain move over northeast Alabama and over North Georgia. Some of this may come a little further north, but it's not going to sweep the whole area, and so it's just going to sweep by throughout the late morning and into the early afternoon. By 5 o'clock, I don't see any rain around here at all. As a matter of fact, we may see a little bit of clearing. But overnight, we're going to see the rain, and we're going to see some thunderstorms come in. This is 7 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. The heaviest rain passed, but it's not over yet. Here's another line of showers and storms. This is around noon on Sunday, and then coming up at around 3 on Sunday, a line of thunderstorms coming by. So that's quite a bit of rain. Then some more showers into Sunday night, and by Monday morning, early Monday morning around 1 o'clock, still some showers, and there's going to be more coming up, at least for the first half of Monday. So by Monday at 1 o'clock in the morning or so, we're going to have 1 to 2 inches more rain for the Tennessee Valley, which is really needed to break this drought or try and get rid of it. 68 in South Pittsburgh tomorrow. Some late morning showers, and Mineral Bluff, you'll see some showers. I think a little better chance in Mineral Bluff. The further south you go, the better chance for rain. So Georgia, you got a better chance for tomorrow. But tonight, just some clouds, 53, and most of those clouds move in late. Tomorrow, 69, some showers. Best chance in Georgia. Further north you go, less of a chance with southerly winds. And tomorrow night, a round of showers and some thunderstorms, 54. And coming up on the 7-day forecast, Sunday looks wet with 64, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Right now, we're not expecting severe weather, but you could have some gusty winds, maybe some small hail out of some of these storms. Monday, the storm goes by, really intensifies, so the winds will pick up. We'll see some showers the first half of the day on Monday with 56. Then Tuesday, drying off 56. Wednesday, breezy, and temperatures at about 61, so warms up briefly. And then on Thursday, maybe some light showers. And then the colder weather moves in for Friday, and probably by next weekend we'll only be in the 40s, the way things are looking now. So as Bruce Geiner said before, winter's not over with. Looking to the past, a lot of times when you get really warm Januaries, you get real cold Februaries, and that's the way things are looking now. I think
so just be prepared for that just in case.
That's right. Do not be surprised if the end of this month and February are very cold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
After the break here at 11, we join a 10th grade class at CSAS as they watch the inauguration.
Then later, 3 friends go on a treasure hunt on a farm and they discover pieces of history. Stay with us.
With coverage you can count on, this is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 11 in HD.
It's black tie and ball gowns in Washington tonight, inaugural balls, and there's proof that President Donald Trump is, as he promised, in a hurry to change Washington.
Steve Handelsman has the latest from Washington.
President Trump and First Lady Melania celebrated in traditional fashion tonight at their balls. And the 45th president kept the Washington tradition to walk some in his inaugural parade, thrilling the modest-sized crowd. Ignoring demonstrators, more than 200 arrests, at least half a dozen officers with minor injuries.
I, Donald John Trump.
But just after he was sworn in, President Trump repeated his angry outsider campaign theme, promising to take power from politicians and give it to the people, vowing to quickly fix poverty, crime, factory closings, and bad schools.
This American carnage stops right here and stops right now.
He'd reached out to the Clintons.
I have a lot of respect for those two people, so thank you all for being here.
He'd been warm to the Obamas, thanking his predecessor. But in the Oval Office tonight, Mr. Trump signed a presidential order to start to cripple Obamacare, allowing states to waive the penalties for not signing up.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
It's been a great day.
Reason to boast at a ball.
People that weren't so nice to me were saying that we did a really good job today.
I did it my way.
My way. the Trump theme song on day one. I'm Steve Handelsman, NBC News at the White House.
And as for tomorrow, protests are planned. Thousands are expected to attend the Women's March in Washington, and a march is also set for here in Chattanooga at 3 o'clock at Coolidge Park.
We sat in with a group of high school students as they watched history in the making today. Mr. Lowry's 10th grade class has been learning about American history and the government, all while the nation prepared to welcome a new leader. His students are not old enough to vote quite yet, but old enough to form their opinions. Mr. Lowry says it's his job to teach them how to use their beliefs to promote positive change.
It's important for the kids to understand that it's okay to disagree, and you don't have to really use the word hate against someone else who disagrees with you.
Students learned the meaning behind Inauguration Day and the 20th Amendment. Pride of the Southland Band performed in its 15th inaugural parade today, marching down Pennsylvania Avenue under the direction of Dr. Don Ryder, who says the band has marched more than any other civic group in the country. They played Rocky Top, Fight Falls Fight, and down the field. They've been doing that for everyone since Eisenhower, just missing one.
Wish we could have heard more of it. I think the pundits were talking the whole time.
I think we know how Rocky Top goes, though.
Yes, we do. We can imagine it. When we come back here on Eyewitness News at 11, a treasure hunt leads to a big discovery.
Plus, a wrong number during an emergency leads to a new friendship. Stay with us.
Found out, and that was a eye-opening moment for him.
An elderly Utah woman who received medical attention thanks to a wrong number she dialed finally has a chance to thank her hero in person. Haylene Johnson had a big hug for Detective Dana Pugmire when they met. Pugmire called an ambulance and stayed on the line with her last week when she tried to call her son for help after she fell but dialed a wrong number. Johnson is thankful for her hero but admits that even she wonders why the stranger stayed with her that day.
Wouldn't it just be natural for you to say, well, you got the wrong number?
Guess I wanted to make sure you were okay.
You're my hero.
Johnson is fighting a bout of pneumonia. She is doing much better and says now she knows Officer Pugmire's number by heart, and she may just call him to say hi every once in a while.
He may not mind that one bit. 3 small-town guys on a hunt for history made the discovery of a lifetime. All it took was an old story, a metal detector, and a lot of digging. David Landreth says his great-grandfather would tell him stories about maneuvers coming through Middle Tennessee, and of a plane crash that happened in 1943. A young soldier flying a fighter plane took off from Chattanooga as part of the training mission. He never made it past Gordonsville, though, so Landreth and two friends decided to do some treasure hunting. The men didn't expect to find much, but turns out they were wrong. They did find pieces of the gearbox, the canopy, clamps and buckles. 2 weeks later, they dug out an 85-pound propeller.
It's made me pretty happy that, you know, that the story is actually true, which I knew myself it was true, but you tell somebody, say, hey, there's an airplane buried in my field, you think somebody's going to believe me? No. Now I've got proof it's there.
The men plan to donate some of the pieces to the Smith County Heritage Museum. They say they'll keep the bragging rights for themselves, though.
The Chattanooga connection. How about that? A family from Green Bay believes their Christmas tree is a good luck charm that will help the Packers make it to the Super Bowl.
Their name is Kruger, and they put that tree up on November 28th, the same day the Packers beat the Philadelphia Eagles. They've won 8 games in a row since then, and this family believes their green and gold tree, the gnome included, Nutcracker there, could help bring the Lombardi Trophy back to Green Bay. The kids don't mind it so much either, do they? Win-win.
Yeah, I guess so. Coming up next in sports, the Bradley girls run their streak into the 20s.
Plus, all sorts of coaching news in Knoxville. The Vols have a new offensive coordinator. Hear from him next.
In terms of East Tennessee, the center of high school basketball was in Bradley County tonight. You had the Cleveland boys ranked 6th overall in the state, hosting rival Bradley Central. And, of course, you had the Bradley girls ranked 1st in what feels like the entire world at Cleveland. The Bearettes have won 19 straight dating back to last year's state semifinal loss. It was lopsided from the start. Emma Brown with a 36-3 at that point. Now it's top prospect Ryan Howard with the feed. Haley Hughes streaking. She had 18 on the night. Cleveland, score alert, their second bucket of the entire first half. It was Emma Flowers getting the roll. Bradley, get this, led 43-5 at the half. Second half, Howard adding on. Give her 3 points for the shot, and yeah, how about another 3 points for the dance? Subtle, but a dance. Bradley Central runs away with it, 72-21. They're now 20-0.
We've been blessed. The good Lord's blessed us. We've been healthy. We're playing very unselfish. So many factors go into this. I think I've got a team that the #1 goal is to win, not individual stats. And I think you can see we're playing with a lot of energy on defense.
I would say so. Next up, the 6th-ranked Cleveland boys hosting Bradley. Cole Copeland representing the Bears, not just on the gridiron. Blue Raider stud KK Curry with a crossover to kill for Curry. So smooth. Cleveland up 16-7. Early it was. Future Mocs quarterback here. Copeland showing that breakaway speed to pull the Bears within 4, but the Blue Raiders run away with it in the second. More KK. This time grabs the rebound, bolts down the court for the easy bucket. Cleveland wins big over the Bradley boys, 71-44, your final score, to stay undefeated in district play. Hey, Larry Scott was introduced as Tennessee's offensive coordinator today, marking his 4th different coaching title in 3 years at 2 different schools. Scott says that's just part of the reason this promotion is something he's been preparing for quite some time.
I've never been a guy that wanted to always pigeonhole myself into I'm just this, I'm just an O-line guy, I'm just a receiver guy, I'm just a running back guy. As you can see by my resume, I've done a lot of different things on offense. Every day that I've always come to work, I've attacked it like I was interviewing for to be a Super Bowl winning head coach.
The Vols also announced the hiring of Mike Canales, the quarterback's coach, from assistant head coach at Utah State, which, if you ask Larry Scott, is the perfect pairing. Scott played under Canales at South Florida in the late 90s.
I've had the opportunity not only to work with Mike, but I've seen what Coach Canales can do with young quarterbacks and how he builds them and how he treats them in the relationship he develops with them and how he develops them as people and as players. So from my eyes to him, it's something that I witnessed and something that has always stuck with me from being a player to working side by side with him to this moment right now.
Over in Tuscaloosa, Alabama made a surprise hire today, adding a 2nd offensive coordinator. Alabama named Mike Loxley co-offensive coordinator. Loxley had been serving as offensive analyst for the Tide, along with Sark, who's the other offensive coordinator. Prior to joining Alabama last year, Loxley held 3 roles at Maryland: offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, and later the interim head coach. Vegas didn't set the over-under in the Atlanta Falcons-Packers game at 61 points for just no reason. It's the highest total ever in an NFL playoff game. In 5 straight wins, the Falcons have averaged 38 points a game. That said, Atlanta quarterback Matt Ryan says they aren't overlooking the Packers' front 4.
I think their front 4 does a really good job, both against the run and the pass. They've got some talented guys. They've gotten some pressure. Really, since the last time we played them, their front 4 has played well, and they've been opportunistic, getting the ball away from offenses. So that's something we've got to be on top of.
Outside of the Falcons' front 4, their defensive backfield has been all banged up. They're injured, and they rank 31st in the league against the pass. It's the Falcons, the Packers, Sunday at 3:05. Looking ahead now, big day on the hardwood tomorrow for the Chattanooga Mocs and Lady Mocs. It's a doubleheader in the round now, starting with the Lady Mocs hosting UNCG at 2. And then right after that, the men will tip off maybe around 5 with Samford in the house. Again, that's a 5 p.m. tip for the Mocs and a 2 p.m. tip for the Lady Mocs. Let's go back to this real quick, guys. 72-21. That's organized basketball.
Yeah.
They're good.
They are.
I think there's probably not a person on their bench that hasn't gotten to play.
Right,
So they're all going to have
clear
game
the bench
experience. That's right.
after the first quarter.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, thanks,
Okay.
Paul. Paul Bearettes has your 7-day forecast when we get back.
think in the morning hours for your planner, we're not going to see any rain, just the clouds thickening up. Temperature should be about 53 or so, but by noon, probably starting after 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we'll see some showers, especially over North Georgia. Then by 3, it should be over with pretty much. And more showers moving in after 9 o'clock for tomorrow night. 7-day forecast, 69 tomorrow, 64 on Sunday. Excellent chance for rain, could be heavy on Sunday. Showers will be ending on Monday. Very windy and getting cold by the end of next week.
Very cold.
Paul, thank you very much. It's the perfect segue into the perfect way to send you into your weekend. How? With soaking monkeys. January 20th, the coldest day of the Japanese calendar. Shivering monkeys at a zoo received a special treat.
A hot outdoor bath open today for them. This does not make your Friday.
Oh.
In the monkey enclosure, a group of monkeys enjoyed the dip. The zoo plans to open a hot bath every Sunday until the end of February. I guess they opened it a little early.
Did one have a cigar there?
Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness.
You think they're just sitting
that's
there thinking,
contentment.
could someone get us a shower curtain, please? This is embarrassing. How very nice.
The hot bath.
Moment of zen comes from, I guess, the Cartoon Network or Comedy Central, Daily Show, something, you know.
Yeah.
One of those cable stations.
There you go. Have a good weekend. Thanks for joining us.
In terms of East Tennessee, the center of high school basketball was in Bradley County last night. You had the Cleveland boys 6th overall in the state hosting rival Bradley Central. And you had the Bradley girls ranked 1st in, well, what feels like the entire world at Cleveland. The Bearettes have won